You are centered. Get your jewels and stones together.
It all goes together, though.
Yeah.
So the goal with the B&D designs, with the bracelets, is to take a percentage of that and put it into my own nonprofit. Mm-hmm. And the nonprofit is called Youth Choices. I bought the name, but we haven't gone anywhere yet. But I want to get the name. So it's called Youth Choices, and it's supposed to do a community-based sex education program. And that's why, like, the HIV diagnosis, the clinic that I'm working with is helping me learn more while I'm finishing my doctorate, so that when I finish my doctorate, I can use that as a proposal, like, hey, this is what I want to do. This is how I'm going to start my business. And then educate people in the community, because there's so much that they don't know.
Yeah, that definitely
is.
Right.
I'm looking at your website. I see a lot of blue and yellow. Is that something or no?
Southern?
Okay.
That is something.
That is something else.
I mean, it's a little bit of University of Michigan. Southern.
And do you use your art therapy with your in your day job?
Yeah, if it's something that they need on the spot. So it's because I work on their time and not mine, depending on how long the session is or how they come in. If we have time, we'll definitely do that. If not, then it's kind of like, if you're just here like, look, I just need to get to the clinic, I don't really want to be bothered, bet. Let me get you in the clinic, let me get your medication, you can go on about your business, and should you feel like you want to do that later, here's my card. And that's about it.
Gotcha.
Yeah, we're here with Brandi Johnson of B&D Designs. Very interesting. I take the Joe Millennial. I didn't ask you your age, but I mean, black don't crack. So for all I know, there's a range of ages you could be.
I heard y'all saying old.
She's got the old soul.
That's me though.
But she's also millennial.
What's old?
Well, we
70.
all are born between what is it, 82 and 2002. That's what millennials is. You're millennial.
I'm in there. I'm 83.
And you don't have to explain it. You gave it away.
You made it.
It don't matter, because like he said, you could be a range of ages that are all under what you just said.
Yeah, man. Speaking of
that's fair.
Angela Bassett just turned 50-something a few days ago, and she looked like she went to prom, don't she? Yeah, she looked good.
She makes me excited to get old.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, indeed, man. One more time for Brandi Johnson. Can we get the applause for Brandi Johnson? She's doing something noteworthy as a millennial here in the city.
Appreciate it.
Great.
Check her out at B&D, that's B-A-N-D, D, online.com, and check out her bracelets. And man, just hit her up on Instagram. I think what you're doing with the art therapy is very interesting.
Thank you.
Very intriguing. And I hope to see more things from
I appreciate the concept.
Yeah.
Right.
I did bring some gifts for y'all.
When you want to come back? You should come back next week. Get some more free stuff.
I definitely want to come back when I have another event. So
just bring free stuff. You're welcome whenever. Just bring bracelets. And
do you have anything on your books right now?
Do you know when your next event is?
Yes and no. So we're kind of like pausing as far as vending like out. I'm trying to get more focus onto the website.
Yeah.
And the goal is to finish my doctorate by March. So I got to get down on this dissertation and kind of shut some other stuff down for a minute.
That's real.
But right now,
would you do events for people? Like if somebody requested you for like
a jewelry party?
Jewelry party, bridal shower.
Yep.
Oh,
So I have 3 weddings that I'm making jewelry for this year. So I gotta finish those and get the bridal party together.
And you know how they have those like the sipping paints? What about like sip and bead? Or
so we were just talking about doing not really a sip and bead, because a friend of mine has paint, eat, sip, repeat? That's what he has a paint, eat, sip place that he owns, and he'll incorporate other black businesses into it. So he's got like a chef that comes in and stuff like that. So we were thinking about maybe collaborating with him. But then my friend this morning, she is an event planner, and she was like, what if we did clothing swap brunch?
Whoa.
And then have other vendors like in it. Wow. So like instead of like, if you can't find what you need, or if you're not really, your budget is kind of not where you want it to be, bring all your old clothes there instead of taking them to Buffalo or Plato's. And then you can only trade what you bring. So if you bring 10 items, you could go home with 10 items.
Right.
Okay.
But then the other we'll put other black vendors in
millennials.
And then they can get in there.
Very innovative.
We're trying to figure that out. We just started talking about that. Well, I mean, I had an idea for a while, but me and her just started talking about it today. So we're trying to get that pulled off. Hopefully by U Classic, but we'll see.
Okay, wait. Come on, your other business partner. What's her name?
Who? My mama.
Oh.
Shout out.
Yeah, why you ain't come with her? Where she
We
at?
love
My
mamas.
mama doesn't
We
live
do
here.
love mama.
My mom doesn't
Okay.
live here. But my mom is listening. Hey, mommy.
Hey, mommy.
But,
What's her name? Shout her out.
Diane. So the
Hey,
B is for
Diane.
Brandi, and the D is Diane. So
I
Brandi and
thought-
Diane.
Shouts out to Mama Diane.
Yeah.
Hey, Miss D. How
We
you
love
doing?
mamas on this show.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
for real.
she's the original social worker. She's how I got into it.
Oh, you said that.
Yeah.
That's what's up. All right, y'all. Brandi Johnson with B&D Designs, an interesting millennial once again, y'all. We're going to take a break and play some music. Mastermind, what you got coming up?
It's called Poltergeist.
By whom?
Miss Colin Celeste, a.k.a. Lady Marsha.
What?
Kalani Celeste.
I thought I was the only one.
Kalina?
Excuse me.
That wait.
Kalina is
Are
behind
you serious? Are you serious? We're about to debut a song from our
Our
own
intern.
team member. No, intern team member. That's what's up. This is Poltergeist by
Poltergeist.
what's her artist name? Is it Kaylee Celeste? Kalina Celeste. This is Poltergeist.
Wrong. It's Kalina,
Oh man, this is Poltergeist by Kalina Celeste. Check it out.
Lady Marsha.
Lady Marsha. You heard it here. Lady Martian.
All right, Kalina.
This is Poltergeist by Kalina
Thank
Celeste,
you.
aka Lady Martian. And
you.
you heard it here first on MisBelief Radio Show, man. Play that thing and don't get nothing on you.
Man, somebody said it like she was some foreign entity.
Like, what
We all like, who the hell is that? Kalan Celeste.
You just saw how quiet it got in the room.
I didn't understand he said Lady Martian. I thought he said La Marche. I was like, Kalan Celeste with La Marche. I'm like, we about that marsh life. All right, Louisiana swamp.
That one's for you.
Thank you.
And then this one's for you.
Thank you so much.
You said pink, right?
I love pink.
I was
Yes.
Oh, this is pretty.
I'm trying to see.
Oh, this is
Gorgeous.
beautiful.
Thank you.
Mine says strong woman.
Oh, maybe we know them, maybe we raise them, maybe we do them. I love it.
Thank you,
You're
Brandi.
welcome.
This is
Oh yeah, I was telling you, Oshun, that so the Facebook was on some kind of timer for the live, so it cut off. So I, her post it and
I
post
was
another one.
wondering what that sound was. I was like, it's taking photographs?
Yeah, it totally did cut off. I was confused.
So what's the color that you wear the most?
Black.
Black.
I was looking at that.
Everybody
And I don't have black, so I got blue.
You got red?
I got red.
I love
I
red.
do have red and it has the 40 on
See, appreciate you. Thank you. What's this right? Okay.
it. Pass that one that way.
Oh, this one's pretty.
Thank you.
Let's take a picture.
Brian.
Hi.
Hi.
I get
Something
one?
neutral.
Yeah, what cup? Something neutral. So what do you suggest? One of these three?
She got all
Yep.
the answers.
Thank you.
I'm trying to put.
Give him this.
Is that red fit or do you need a different?
I'm good. I'm cool.
But sometimes they be a little too big, so I didn't know the red one, so I didn't know.
I'm trying to put mine on.
Oh, I got it, girl. I got it, girl.
Underscore BD underscore designs.
When did it cut off?
It cut off in the
Uh,
middle
Alright.
of Brandi.
It wasn't in the middle.
It was in the beginning?
No, it cut off. Like no, we got mostly 98% of Brandy stuff. It just cut off like maybe like it cut off as soon as DC was saying something, and I heard him post it and post another one, so we put it right back on the ball.
Like a couple of seconds.
Yeah, go.
'Cause the thing is, they
If I
can-
get
they
a
should-
chance, can I get a picture of everybody with like bracelet, like
Sure.
together?
Yeah.
But like nah, like they showed me like 4 minutes ahead of time while y'all was on the mic when it was gonna cut off. It was just I was just waiting for the countdown really as I watched it. So
Does it usually do that?
no. So I don't know what DC got on timer with it, but you know. But you know, legend has it. I heard this in the barbershop. Actually, I heard it in the hair salon next to the barbershop that Angela Bassett is really 152 years old.
Legend has it.
That's what I heard. That's what I heard.
Who's serious?
That's what I
What's he about
heard.
to say?
That's what I heard. I was in the barbershop and the hair salon next door
I won't put it on there.
told us that. That Angela Bassett 150.
You gotta just roll it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just gotta roll it.
Cute. Cuteness.
I love it.
Blue, my favorite
You're going
color.
in the middle where you are.
Oh wow, that dude. I feel like that does fit you.
Oh shit, where you going, Dad? What we doing this?
I feel like you got a chain.
Your powers combined. Let's go.
Powers combined.
I really appreciate y'all.
Hold on. You gotta get that Fleur de Lis action up here, man. Where you join at, dog? There we go, man.
Ooh, Martin, I like your stone. I like your theme.
I know, that's nice. I appreciate y'all. Thank you.
So I got this imperial ball. Look real ancient.
Not quite.
How many minutes we got? Why before I start making rounds?
I gave him my card. I told him.
Shit, so we got what's going on out here. We got a little negative. We got a little.
That's my real guy.
She supposed to be missing some
Psycho.
What? Huh?
I'm about to. She turned around. She thought I called. No, I was saying we got coming up, man. We got to do is 8:10. I'm looking at time and such.
Remember, y'all can call us at 504-260-9265.
Why is it busy? What's going on? Why's it blinking?
I don't know.
Maybe somebody's calling us.
That's when the red ones come up. Somebody calling. This is.
I do real estate. That's my real.
Something might be wrong with it.
What's up, Joseph?
Whoa.
Y'all know
Joseph?
Malik took me on a date. And he bought me a drink, and we was watching Van Jones, and he was like, "You okay?"
And you cannot see, but Joseph, he like a cut off Backstreet Boy.
Everybody, yeah, rock your body,
He look like Joy Fatone.
yeah. He like, I think my dog looking fresh, man. Looking like a Blackstreet Boy.
Yep.
So while y'all was talking,
No diggity.
I did research on where
No
the
doubt.
belief came from.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was real interesting. I talked to DC and we came up with the same stuff. So I was like, okay, I want to do some more research on this.
Did you look up the man?
Yes, I did.
We get those pants
I
from
know
Malik.
where I can have some
These are African print. Where you get those?
African print. Docility, Mwende Frequency. She's from Africa. She's from Kenya, and she has a
I feel like me and you
pop-up
could wear
shop.
the same size.
Private too. Yeah, so you know, gotta keep it fresh. We
Born
gotta
in
support each other.
Africa.
We out.
Nice to meet you. She a business owner. She's getting a PhD. She is my hero. I thought I do a lot. She do a lot.
That's gonna hold them down.
Yeah,
Create
yeah.
a shoe habit. I gotta pay for
That was it. And yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Multiple streams of income. That's what I'm
multiple.
saying.
Y'all have a good one.
1 minute, 1 minute.
1 minute.
That boy look like
There,
Ricky.
Park.
Pretty Ricky, what they called him. That's
He
what
do.
that
He
boy.
do look like Ricky Fontaine.
Man.
Pretty Ricky, what they called
Every week,
him.
I don't even know what Bass gonna do for us for the next touchdown.
Isn't
I
it
mean,
exciting?
you know, it's crazy because I just think Donald Trump gonna be the person every week.
I know he always.
Yeah, but I guess he's a permanent neck. So you know
That's a problem.
Permanent
He's the permanent one.
Hey, what up, Torrance, man? What up, Gary Anderson?
Well, hold up, but the Torrance.
Charlita.
Torrance, I want to say thank
Charlita.
you so
Hi.
much.
Thank you, Tori.
What up, Blair? How you doing,
We
brother?
about to be.
Brandon Jackson. What up, Bryce? What up, Bryce Duplessis? Blair Aaron Tyler Hall. What up, Jeffrey Joseph Lockhart, Peter Mike Michelle, Jordan Fried, Tamika Jackson, Robin Joseph. Also, Quinton says he want to let you know you got a show on August
Robin
4th at the High Hole
Joseph,
Lounge,
hey,
24th.
Hey, Robin girl. Bad. That's my bad.
What up, Bryce?
Toya Booty, how you doing,
What up,
Chef
Bryce?
Toya? I saw Chef Toya in a cooking show, killing it.
Why you so pissed?
Call us, y'all.
Think about it. Why is it the video ended?
Because
And
we
are
had to
back.
start.
We are back, yo. Welcome back to MisBelief Radio Show live on WBOK AM 1230. I'm your host, DC Paul, the Millennial Arsenio. And who's this to my right?
The one and only, the wonderful unicorn, the fantastic lady with all the powers. The Oshun.
Oh, you was getting on me earlier because I had a speech impediment.
I think it's contagious.
I know, you rubbed up on me because I wasn't making fun of you.
Yes, you were.
I was, but not on
You
camera.
was the main one.
Yeah.
And who's this to my left?
It's that actor guy, Martin Batts,
What
Bradford.
up, that actor guy? How you feeling?
I'm doing quite fine. I'm
Quite
doing
fine.
fine.
That's unnecessary.
It's very necessary.
See,
It's necessary.
people think that I'm a clown, I don't have no feeling. That's not okay.
The
man.
kids of a clown.
And who's that to your left?
This Jay's still keeping it real.
Jay still keeping it
Jay's
real. I
still
love
keeping it real.
Who's that over there in the booth?
2 S's, 1 O.
Just about time you got a tagline. Damn it. You know we're all never gonna fall. Who's that?
It's your boy Mastermind.
What up, Mastermind? What was that last song you played, man?
That last song I played was called Still by Ricky Roman.
Still by Ricky Roman. And before that, we had Poster Guys by Kalena Celeste, aka Lady Martian. That is officially in the rotation She was a member of the TheMisBelief team. She got priority. Yeah,
and I just told her, I was like, man, when I'm going to hear some more of your songs? Just told her that today. You did not tell me they were going to play one of your songs.
She didn't tell me that either. She was asking me, like, there was a certain genre we were playing. I was like, no, we wanted the diversity. And you got the diversity.
Y'all ain't tell Mastermind neither. You should have told Mastermind. That's what you should have told.
That's cool, man. Shout out to Kalina Celeste. And also Brian Evelyn. Our 2 new team members holding it down for us, man. We couldn't do it without them. And this here is one of my favorite segments. It's called What's Going On Out Here?
What's going on out here?
You heard me? It's where we talk about local talking points, news, events, people, places, things going on out here. You heard me? Let me kick it to you first. Oshun, what's going on out here?
Sure. As everybody knows, it's election time, election season. So please don't forget that the last day to register to vote in the fall open primary is September the 13th in person or by mail, and September the 23rd at the Secretary of State website. That is very, very important, especially for the mayoral candidates that we have. It's a lot of good people to choose from, so we need every single vote to count, everyone.
That's real. That's what's going on out here.
Remember, if you don't vote, you can't talk no noise.
At all.
Can't say nothing.
I got it. What's going on out here?
I see no punchline to that. They just hear what it is.
That's the truth.
And the silence follows.
Straight up.
When you tell the truth, you heard me? I got one. So after this, at 9 p.m., I'm heading over to the Jazz Market. My frat brother, Dr. James Dabney, Ph.D., is turning 40. He's throwing the Hillman Homecoming themed 40th birthday party at the Jazz Market, hosted by the Millennial Arsenio DC Paul. It's gonna be a lot of fun, man. The attire is like Cosby Show, Hillman, 90s TV collegiate. It's gonna be interesting, man.
Fun.
Yeah, I like theme parties. I like when there's new things going on out here, different types of events. So shout out to Dr. James Dabney, man. Dr. James Dabney.
A joctor. He's a joctor.
Dr. James Dabney,
Doctor.
proud native of New Orleans and product of the public school system. Dr. Dabney is the oldest of 6 children and currently serves as the director of development and partnership for the New Orleans region.
You gonna eat your tongue.
I'm sitting here trying to figure out what's going on. And he just going and going.
I'm trying to do radio with this thing in my mouth. I should just
You're doing so good. It's okay.
I told you, I ain't telling you nothing.
Why you keep saying S words? The New Orleans public school system. I'm going to sabbatical.
You know what, Vance? What's going on out here?
Man, shouts out
Besides
to
these jokes you got.
I mean, shouts out to Take 'Em Down NOLA. They had a march you did.
Yes,
That was
indeed.
the stand in solidarity with all the craziness that's going on in Charlottesville, you feel me? And that was a large crowd took to New Orleans streets this afternoon for a march to show it. The group Take 'Em Down NOLA led the march from Congo Square to Jackson Square in conjunction with hundreds of other marchers. It was hundreds of other marchers across the country meant to show opposition to the white supremacist protests and attacks. For the last few years, the group Take 'Em Down NOLA has led the city's efforts to remove 4 prominent Confederate statues. After legal delays, protests, and much controversy, those statues were taken down this summer, and now it's just beautiful to see all across the nation. Because you heard, I think it was Baltimore that took them down all in one night.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Like
Why
this.
with the Confederate monuments in Baltimore? That's way
And see, that's the whole
Right,
thing.
that
They
is
just everywhere.
Right.
And that's why you gotta call bull when they say it's about heritage. Because I mean, like once again, they got why they up there. There's this article, man, and I forget where, but I've never seen a statue showing like in the South at least showing like slaves or the rebellions or the other than like we have the opposite of the Confederate statues. Like they have them like sprinkled in, but I wish every Confederate statue that got taken down, let's show a slave breaking chains. Let's show Harry Tubman Demon Slayer. Let's show like some positive somebody.
Right.
That or it could be someone even more recent doing something major. But we can replace those
Negative images with positive images.
all day.
Yeah.
all day. That's what's up.
Taking down NOLA Quest, what up?
Shout out to Quest,
Hey,
man.
Quest.
Quest don't stop working. Boy, he just got back in the country and then got right back to work.
He hit the ground running.
What up, Malik?
Yeah, Quest told me that he's a fervent watcher of the MisBelief show.
That's what's up, man.
All the time. He said he would like to come on too.
He been here before. He welcome to come back and tell me he been here.
He gave DC a contact whoop that time.
Yeah, man. I knew all the black conspiracy theories as soon as he left. I swear I was so woke. It was magical. What?
You know, it shouts out to that Take 'Em Down NOLA. This movement started in New Orleans.
Of course it did.
Supported with a millennial. It's all over the country.
Man, I mean, Quest has been on Roland Martin. He done been all around the place pushing the message, pushing it.
Yeah, we have artists and activists and therapists and everybody else comes to the MisBelief radio show. So I love it, man. This city is just booming with beautiful black people who are doing the damn thing. Anyway, Jay Still.
Oh man, what a segue.
About to say.
Yeah. So we talking about. I want to talk about Mr. Michael Tyler. Do you know who that is?
No.
Danger.
Mystikal.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, better known as Mystikal. So.
Is it about black excellence or no?
It's not about black excellence.
It's not one of blackness's finest moments. I would say that, but it's real.
It's the complete opposite of one of blackness's finest moments.
Yeah.
It was okay. What Michael Tyler did?
So as y'all know, back in 2003, he pled guilty to sexual battery and extortion charges, and he was basically in prison until January 2010. Well, Shreveport police are now searching for him in connection with an alleged sexual assault that took place on October 22nd, 2016. There's also another man, Avery Holman.
We ain't doing
A
it.
very own.
A very own.
A very own.
Thank you.
Our very own.
Our very own.
Our very own Holman.
Holman.
I know. I need Jay Still spell his name out for everybody.
AVERWEONE.
Our very own.
Yeah,
The very own.
I would say Avra 1. Keep going.
I'm not doing it.
Oh,
Nope.
yeah.
I already got internet bullied. I'm not participating. Not a blessed thing.
So yes, he is.
Nope.
Shout out to the internet.
There's a warrant out right now for his arrest. Shreveport police are looking for him for another sexual assault. They're not detailing who the victim is or the incident or anything.
What the hell?
He got one of the more distinctive faces in the city.
And you can't help but to know who he is.
All right.
Yeah, they're looking for him.
Michael
What
Tyler,
the hell?
What do you what?
How in the world do you go to jail? You lose a portion of your career. You lost all your momentum. You lost all your momentum before for sexual altercation
and
and
prior
assault.
to that, he also pled guilty to 2 federal misdemeanor counts of failing to file tax returns on a total of $1.7 million he earned in the 90s.
All right, wait.
Well, I ain't got nothing to do with that. I ain't got nothing to do with the taxes. I don't care about the taxes. But I'm staying back to the fact that last time he went to jail because he filmed himself sexually assaulting a chick.
Right.
And now you get out, you all cut, you all clean, you trying to bounce
I
back.
thought he was bouncing back for
You
real.
hear me?
Literally.
You gonna put yourself, even though it's alleged, you gonna put yourself in position to maybe go back to jail for the same crap.
And this was
But
just
hold on,
last year.
wait. But it's still alleged.
I just said that. I said
It
even
is
though
alleged.
it's alleged, I would stay so far. I probably would be a monk. Dude, you went to jail. You shouldn't even be nowhere near anything that possibly might resemble something that somebody could call sexual assault.
Right.
I'm about to have sex and another dude walk in the room. I'm walking out the room. You feel me? I'm figuring out every kind of way to stay away. If she get naked, look, I'll look. Hey, look, you gotta sign this paper, this NDA. You gotta let it be known that this ain't rape or something. Because, dude, you gotta watch yourself because you just went to jail for this. Man, screw that alleged bribe. Get yourself together, Mystikal.
Exactly.
He said he was danger, you know.
He
Watch
told
yourself.
us.
He did.
He said, "Watch yourself."
He said he was the crook. He said he was the coochie crook. That was the song that he had. Yep.
He said he make you say and nah. Anybody that make you say and nah, you better watch him.
Right.
He told you to shake it fast. But
Hey,
yo,
watch
but that mean he cared about you. He said watch yourself.
But if he tell you to shake it fast,
keep an eye on yourself.
but while he's watching you,
No, watch yourself.
But he wants you to watch yourself around him.
It ain't my fault to watch you. It's your responsibility to watch
He's
yourself.
forewarning you.
yeah, it's a warning. He's saying watch yourself around him. If you shake it fast around me, you better watch yourself around me.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. Because guess what, guys?
It's all
We
allegedly.
weren't
We weren't there. We ain't finna get canceled. I ain't finna have Mystikal calling. Actually, Mystikal, if you're listening, man, call us. 504.
No, he's been Don't call. Don't call us.
No, I said that'll be the best caller if they looking for you. If anybody out there around Michael Tyler, tell them to give a call to 504-260-9265. We want to talk to you.
Yeah, man, we want
Hit us up. Holla at us.
all these allegations are not fair without hearing your side of the story.
Straight up.
So,
Clear your name.
Dookie braids,
I
though?
feel like that used to wear dookie braids.
Why?
You had dookie braids?
I have Dookie. Say, bro, you can't be stereotyping everybody with braids and twists and
Actually,
stuff.
Quinton
dog.
Hakeem just left here with dookie braids.
Straight up and down.
And that was fly. How you gonna say that? He just left here. His
that
hair was
was
fly.
no,
That was Dookie Plants.
That
right,
was a two-string twist. That was not a Dookie braid.
That was Dookie two-string
I
twist.
didn't laugh so
right.
much, I got a headache.
Well, I used to have 2-strand twists, and they had a little bit of dookie on them, so we ain't about to go there.
Jesus.
All right. Jesus Christ. Hey, Mastermind, what's going on?
Please.
Duh.
Yes.
Okay. Tonight?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Oh, man.
Me personally, I love to play cards. So
Me too.
It sounds like something fun that any adults may want to get into tonight. You know. So
That sounds like some good clean adult fun going on out here.
It would be the sexy voice, man. Bring us
Right.
the adult
So, adult
game
game.
night.
Oshun, what you got? What's going on out here?
I got one more. So everyone knows tomorrow is the solar eclipse.
Mm-hmm.
Please don't go outside looking directly into the sun, people.
Why?
It will damage your eyes.
Really?
That's why they're giving away these sunglasses.
Please say that again, because I don't think a lot of people know that.
Yes,
A lot of people
it
gonna be
can
out there
damage.
blind.
It can damage your eyes if
Right.
you look directly at the solar eclipse. It can hurt your eyes.
So what you supposed to do?
You're supposed to get the special solar eclipse sunglasses. I know they had some at the library.
They got them all.
No. They
don't have any
They don't
more?
have any more. So they have articles online about how to make your own.
You gotta put a hole in the box, right?
Yeah, it's like cardboard or something because they're
Jeez.
gone.
They had so many. So if
They
they all
did.
gone, then please just stay inside.
No, just put a hole in the cardboard box and look through that. That's
Right.
how you do it, right? You just put the hole in the
I
cardboard
think it's
box.
more
Something
than
like
just that. I think it's like more.
I doubt it. I bet you that's it. You just
If
put a
you're
hole in
gonna
the
do it, just
cardboard box.
Google it. Don't just go out there and just putting holes in.
But wait a
cardboard
minute.
boxes.
If you put a hole in a cardboard box, how is that protecting your
If
naked
you're still
eye
looking at it.
from the
If
sun?
anything, it's a telescope.
It's still a hole. It's the
You
same
did a
hole.
telescope.
I think it's the amount of ultraviolet radiation that hits your retina.
Yeah,
and it
it's
decreases the amount.
what
of
she
that.
said.
They're
All I
going
know is
sorry.
my grandma told me, don't look at I'm not looking.
Yeah.
And that's what happened.
I'm about to find out what time the solar eclipse is
Don't it
happening
start at
here.
11?
12 or something.
Yeah, it's like noon.
Noon
around
to
that time.
1:30.
12:10, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's on Monday, right?
Yep.
Monday between noon and
Yeah.
not tomorrow, day after tomorrow.
I keep thinking today Sunday. I'm
You got a
sorry.
Saturday night radio show. What are you talking
But
about?
listen, I had a rough week. So yeah,
I
today is
had a
Sunday.
lift a week. What are you trying to? You wanna go back?
But
and
it's
forth,
becoming
bro?
it's becoming of you now.
Yeah, it works. I think
If
the
you
list
had your
works.
glasses on and your hair like this in your face, perfect.
You're DC Paul now.
Yes,
It makes you seem more sensitive. I
DC
think.
Paul.
Ralph
I
Trash.
don't need to seem any more sensitive than I already am. People know I cry on a regular.
Yeah, he's definitely a Capricorn.
I wear
a
shirts
Cancer.
with roses on
Aw.
because I like the femininity of it.
Oh, that's a beautiful shirt. Even there's even
It is
the
a
blood,
beautiful
the
shirt.
fingers being pricked by the rose and everything. Oh my goodness, yes,
Oh,
DC,
my
you the
It
man.
puts me in my feelings.
Yeah, well, I got something that's going on out here.
What you got?
Shouts out to Lil
Coming in
Wayne.
next.
Shouts out to Lil Wayne. He just said he can drop the Carter 5 whenever he feel like it.
That's real.
Lil
Whoa.
Wayne continues to tease his long-awaited album, Carter 5. Despite his lengthy legal battle with record label Cash Money, Tunechi claims he has the authority over when the LP sees the light of day. The Young Money rapper recently chopped it up with Q93's Wild Wayne for a phone interview and once again updated fans on the status of the project. Of course you're going to see the Carter 5, Weezy said. I just don't want to put it out the wrong way. Honestly, I can do what I want at any time. The fans deserve it to be right, and that's how it's going to be. I'm going to make sure it's right. I can drop whatever I want to drop. That's why I keep dropping whatever I want to drop. But I'm not going to give them the Carter 5 the wrong way. Wayne contends that the project is complete and waiting for the proper rollout. Carter 5 is done. It's on the shelf, just ready to drop. I ain't got to do that. I move on and keep it moving and give them what I'm doing right now. Carter 5 is ready to be listened to. It's just got to be listened to the right way. And like I said, I'm not going to give it to him wrong. So, as was up to Wayne, because Carter 5 was supposed to come out like 5-6 years ago.
And
You
if
feel
you go,
me?
I dare you drop it. I dare-
I mean, I'm just curious on, I hope he went back and tried to maybe like fluff up some of that stuff, because you know, I mean,
Make it current.
I mean, to a degree, because
Right.
on one end, you know, if something's timeless, it's timeless. But on another
Yeah.
end, I mean, if you're talking about when Obama was in office,
Right.
you feel
It's
me?
not gonna flow.
So, you know, but he's
Yeah.
a professional, so he most likely got together. I'm just glad he finally got the shackles off his feet so he can dance.
Come on, Mary Mary.
And when is Louisiana happening?
I don't know.
August 25th.
That's
I
like
feel like it's
that's like Thursday or Friday, huh? The
It's
21st?
next weekend.
Allegedly.
August 20th?
Allegedly. I've no.
Next week.
Okay, there we go.
Okay.
I don't know the date.
Sponsored by Morris Bart. Still, huh? Hey, speaking of Morris Bart, man, I got what's going on out here. Our own Mastermind. a.k.a. Devin McCoy. So I was in the
I saw your
barbershop.
commercial.
I was in the barbershop. Yeah, me too, man. I saw his commercial. Morris Bar gave him a whole lot of money. I was like, well, damn.
So no, tell me, what did he lie? What did he lie on the commercial? I want to know, what was his name?
So many lies.
What was his name?
Mastermind, tell us about who you were.
Yeah, tell us about the Morris Bar commercial.
How much money you got?
Then why are you working at AM radio station with me? Let me hold something. Some of that Morris Bar money.
I mean,
you ain't said nothing but a thing. I'm gonna be on your ass after the broadcast. Like, hey.
On his ass.
So, yeah.
I mean, straight up, Mastermind and Alpha Joe holding the camera right now for us. They completely exposed Mars Bar commercials and all those lawyer commercials.
I know.
Because Alpha Joe got one coming in rotation too, and they both were telling me how much money they supposedly won. I'm not one or got from Mars Bar. I'm like, dang.
I hang with y'all boys. I watch these commercials and just know it's a lie. Also, Joshua Kegler was on one of them commercials, man. I'm like, come on, Josh.
So Alpha Joe got a car. Rick even got a car.
That's why he don't have a car, because it was wrecked. Yo, it got wrecked.
He was like, man, I walked to the bus stop and the bus rode over my foot.
Morris Bar got me $200,000.
Morris Bar got me $72 to fix his broken foot bone. Thanks, Morris Bar. Won't call that off. All right.
He got the list for it. Rolled over my foot, but now I can't talk. Straight up and down. Let's go. Morris Bar.
That's cool. And that's what's going on out here. Jay Steele, you got one before we go to break?
Yeah, I got a little what's going on out here. So there is a prominent Cuban director.
Get on the mic so they watch this Cuban man.
Here's another name, Rigoberto Lopez.
Oh,
that one perfect. Why you couldn't say what that boy name was?
And another one.
All the boy, what it was?
I thought it was Almanas, the Alamanor.
Our very own. Our very own.
There we go.
Our very own. That's what we don't have to name this episode.
Our very own.
Our very own.
So this director is a prominent Cuban filmmaker and the president of the Caribbean Cinema Group, and he said that hosting his new film showcase in New Orleans will promote the Caribbean film industry that reflects and connects shared experiences of Black people within the diaspora living in the Americas. So this is basically a really prominent film director that's interested in starting kind of like a film fest that focuses on life and Black life in the Caribbean and New Orleans.
All right.
Nice.
How people.
Go ahead and connect that.
I don't know if Miss Lydia Nichols is either watching or listening, but she's a local Black millennial. She had done some research on like the I guess the correlation between like Black people in Louisiana, Black people in the Caribbean, and the sugarcane industry. And she actually traveled to Cuba to like research this. I don't know if it was for a dissertation or for an article or just for self-knowledge, but I mean, Lydia is one of the most interesting people I've met in this city, man. And she followed the sugarcane industry all the way to Cuba, just doing personal research. It was dope. She's what's going on out here, you hear me?
Yeah.
Over in the book, what you got, Malik? What's going on out here?
Just a little historical note that New Orleans is considered a part of the Caribbean. We're considered the most northernmost part.
Considered by whom, though?
By everyone. Because New Orleans was a part of the French and Spanish Empire. So we think about Haiti, we think about Cuba, we think about Mexico. New Orleans was the center of all of that because they had to come in and out through the port of New Orleans. If you was going to Santo Domingo, you would have to stop into New Orleans if you was headed to Mexico. So New Orleans, because it's French, it's Spanish, it's African, New Orleans, and also all of the Haitians came here after the Haitian Revolution. New Orleans is a part of the Caribbean.
But you know,
I don't know if
is it?
another part of the island is, but most people consider Santo Domingo, which is a small name, as a part of the Caribbean.
Okay, I could be wrong. I never thought that Haiti was considered one of the...
It's only because the United States, the Western Hemisphere, demonized Haiti because they were the only people to successfully revolt and had the first and only successful slave revolt in the history of the world.
Shouts out to Tucson.
Shout out to Tucson.
That's what's up. You got some more history for? We're going to save it for all right. Mastermind, you got what's going on out here before we take a break?
Straight up.
I appreciate your honesty.
Shouts out to the 62-year-old man that was robbed of his truck in the 7th Ward while trying to help somebody else that was getting robbed.
Oh, man.
What?
He tried to stop a robbery. He rolled up on somebody. This dude was on his knees. He's about to getting robbed by some other guy. He tried to help him, and the dude was like, you know what? Run yours. So he got that man up out his truck.
What's going on out here?
Right.
I'm sorry. I'm trying. I find it funny. I'm sorry.
You find it funny?
The visual of it is kind of
just the juxtaposition, not the fact that it happened. I don't find nobody getting robbed funny. I think that's screwed up.
Now honestly, if I would have wrote that in a comedy skit,
that's funny in a skit form. I got a filmmaker mindset. So as soon as I hear that, it's like, wait, you tried to help somebody who was getting robbed and you got robbed? That is a funny situation, even though it's a very unfortunate one.
Yeah, that's messed up.
I just imagine this old man walking from Circle Food store.
62 ain't old.
Fresh greens. Okay, you're right. So middle-aged man.
Middle-aged.
From Circle Food store.
What?
62 for a New Orleans. Black lady made it 2 years. He done made it past the age.
He's somebody patriarch.
Yeah.
Somebody.
He done got robbed for his bag of greens. Ain't that's a shame, bro. Oh, Lord have mercy. Anyway.
On a good note, there was miraculous oxygen treatment that saved this New Orleans little toddler who was nearly drowning, and apparently there's this state-of-art treatment that saved this little girl's life. And just to give us something good to just leave it going to the break on. You feel me? Crystal Carlson was, I just want to shout that out. I know we had a loss for time, so we can't get into the story. You hear me? I'm not about to read this long thing. I'm just saying go look it up. It's on NOLA.com. I thought it was a very interesting story. It's long. It's going into the whole life story and stuff.
To the miraculous oxygen treatment.
Because they acting like we ain't got nothing down here in New Orleans. But we got miraculous oxygen treatments to save toddlers from drowning. You heard me?
Miraculous.
If only we could have a miraculous flood water pumping system, that would be awesome, man.
If we had a miraculous pump.
Miraculous
pump. Save lives, though.
Dang,
save lives. Wait, so after they drown in the flood water, we could take miraculous oxygen pump and save their life.
That was what's going on here, Paul? What's going on here, man? I'm trying to leave us out on some positivity. You always telling me that I'm bringing it down
because you were making fun of my list. Oh, what you got? Really?
Leaky?
9-1 in Fort Nelly?
Rockaway.
Check out DJ Rockaway, man. Yeah.
Okay.
My favorite DJ Rockaway, Fort Nelly from 9-1 tonight. Oh, somebody go give me something.
Go get you some more.
Some merch.
Oh.
Away team merch. I can't make it.
Southside DJ Rockaway.
Yeah, man.
Big ups to the away team.
He's my favorite. Yeah, he runs it.
Yeah, man. Rockaway was DJing for Van Jones. He was the opening act.
Oh, really?
I mean, Rock Smooth, not Rockaway.
No, yeah.
You can't be getting them
confused. Anyway, man.
Y'all know who I meant.
No, we did know who you meant.
I know what you meant.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
All right.
MisBelief misses.
Shout out to Rockaway and Rock Smooth. They're both two dope ass DJs from the city.
Yes,
doing
indeed.
Thing. What you got, Mastermind?
Okay.
Definitely favorite, man. Stay tuned to MisBelief radio show, and guess what? Don't get nothing on you.
So they set that old man up.
That's what it sounds like. That's what it sounds like. And that's what it sounds like.
That's exactly what happened. They set them up.
Yeah, I'm about to go call and check and make sure that wasn't my brother.
I concur. Like, you think about that sounds like I don't know.
So, because real talk, let me tell you something. If it was real, he would have robbed both of them.
Yeah.
Right then and there.
Oh, the other person got robbed too.
Oh.
Like they both got robbed, and then the dude took the old man truck.
Still set up. Took the truck. Set up. Still set up. Bring it back to him later.
Hey, maybe.
Nah,
I think it happened like at 1 or 2 in the morning. I'm like, oh man, what you doing?
That's a setup. That's a brave ass old man.
Well,
brave.
Nice ass old man.
He ain't old.
That's
a nice man.
That's a nice man.
Tried to save somebody.
Nice upper middle-aged man.
What up, Jabari Thomas? What up, Eric Mackey? What up, Jason Thompson? What up, MD Gibson? What up, TJ Choops? Brian, can you hold this phone for me real quick? What up, Tony Wilson? What up, Yuri?
See, you're on the Wi-Fi, right?
Done at my body. Done see my face. With them girls. She got to pay to play. Yo, Bree played the hell out this part. I just want to let you. Bree did an awesome job on this part in the video. So check out the quick video.
Shout out to Torrance for calling us the dinner club. That's hilarious. That's hilarious.
I like that. That's cute. The dinner club.
Pass out. This is my blessing. Oh, FYI, I just have a plug. My stylist B, she has a one-woman show called A Takeover. It's hilarious. It's funny. It's a one-woman show on St. Clair tomorrow. This is the last show. It's talking about pregnancy. Go over it. I forgot what the address, but look up the takeover at Stylist B. One-woman show on St. Clair tomorrow. I think at 12 p.m.
How you let me tell these people it was the wrong DJ? You know I wasn't paying attention at first.
I wasn't in the booth.
Get on that, man.
I wasn't in the booth.
Yo, let me tell you why I got. All right, so when Van Jones came, I cried. Malik was like, "What is wrong with you?" They was talking about the Power Coalition, and they was talking about the immigrants and how us as New Orleanians, especially Black New Orleanians,
Whispering in my ear.
what?
You know, in the dude, his name.
Oh, I haven't.
Go keep talking to the people. Okay, yeah, that is.
So, we as Black people always in New Orleans, we have a tendency to downplay Latinos in this city. Like, we get them to do whatever, you know, pick them up at the Home Depot or the Lowe's, you know. But they were really telling, like, their stories, and I'm just sitting there going, and I'm just crying, bawling. But not only that, they had so many white people in there who are just like
She was sitting next to her girlfriend, Ellie.
Shout out Ellie. Hey, Glenn. I didn't know they were going. And when they walked in, I was like, my people. But it's good that you don't have to prompt them to do stuff. Like, they go out and they want to know how to help and they figure it out on their own. I agree with Amanda Seals also about Lady Gaga, so that's a whole nother thing. But that whole Van Jones experience, like, he got up there and he preached. He was just going in. I was just overwhelmed.
I appreciate the vice mayor of Charlottesville, Virginia, a young brother, 30 years old. He's probably going to be seeing him in national politics pretty soon. So that was good being introduced to that person. So
yeah, it was a really
shout out to Tank. They in the Netherlands right now, playing in Europe, taking the bangers. Y'all get their music. Yeah. There you go. Tricks off the kid. That was jelly.
You playing one song?
Jessica, can you show the audience your shirt? Let's see if anyone has MJ trivia.
Let me explain this shirt to y'all because I'm a big nerd and don't nobody know that. Okay, so this shirt is Captain EO. Captain EO was a ride that opened in Disney World, I think in the 80s. And it was historic because I think it was one of the first rides to feature or the only ride to feature like a black character, but it was like a 3D show. This song also appeared, there was a song called Another Part of Me that appeared on the Bad album by Michael Jackson. When he died, they brought back the 3D show in all of the Disney parks for a few years, and they just got rid of it like a year ago. And I had the opportunity to go see it a few years ago, and I cried because I love Michael Jackson, and I love Disney, and I love stuff like this. So yeah. But he plays like a space captain. It's a really horrible 80s 3D movie, but I love it.
Nothing about Michael Jackson horrible.
It's really not. Anything he does was pretty cool, but it was bad.
But do you know how deep Michael Jackson was? Like, while he was living, like, Michael Jackson is actually the first person to ever do an all-cast with Egyptians who were black. So when he did the Remember the Times, that was the first time in television history that an entire cast depicting Egyptians, ancient Egyptians, were black. And he was adamant that they all be black. Also, that song, They Don't Really Care About Us, he was trying to give us signs. We wasn't even paying attention.
Michael was woke.
Michael was woke.
Was even a thing. Michael was woke.
Black and white.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so shout out to MJ. What's up, DC Paul?
Instead of him saying excuse me, he rather push me out the way.
So Zephyr had a great idea.
What?
Keeping it real with Jay Still segment.
Yeah.
And if you had one prepared today, we could close out the show with 1, 2, 3 segments like that. But for next Saturday.
Okay.
Yeah, they said we came up with this segment. Want to
No,
start it today?
He just no. If you, because I don't know what keeping it real with Jay Still means to you. So take time, and then
1 minute. 1 minute
segment.
Which must mean 30 seconds, because when he be telling us 1 minute, I blink and we back on.
I got something about West Nile, but it's kind of like...
No.
That's not gonna work. I'll think of some stuff. I don't think I'm ready.
I think that'll be great.
Oh, the think. What you said earlier.
Oh,
you know. Horror,
yep.
Comic books, whatever. You're keeping it real.
Next week you can talk about your experience with Game of Thrones.
You know, you just happen.
Okay, that's a good one.
You just happen to have a vagina, you know.
Awesome.
You know.
You just happen to have a vagina.
It just works.
So
it works sometimes.
that's a perspective that we can use.
I could do one to talk about Game of Thrones a little bit.
You want to?
I did. Let's try it.
I'm going to talk to you.
I don't know if it's
5, 4.
What up, Brian?
What's up?
This ain't my first rodeo. Hey, welcome back to the MisBelief radio show here on WBOK AM 1230. I'm your host, DC Paul, the millennial Arsenio, slim waist, baby face, deep voice, #1 choice for radio. And who's this to my left?
Hi,
Right. To my right.
I thought you were talking to me. Hey, everybody, it's me, Oshun.
Hey, Oshun, what's happening? Who's that to your right?
Yo, this is Malik of No Tour.
All right, Malik, you had to tag on that. Join the club, Lord. Who's that to my far left?
Jay still keeping it real.
Still keeping it real, honey. Still, that's what's up. And who's that next to you?
That actor guy, Mr. Bats.
What up, Mr. Bats? And over there in the booth, who that is? What's up, Mastermind?
It's a me.
What was that just played? Yeah, I thought so. She was here last week, man. Yeah. Shout out to Jay Harmony. So, Jay Still.
Yes.
I heard through the grapevine you recently started. I was gonna say a new series, but you're new to an old series.
Yes. So I'm behind on every show. Basically, I live in a little hole, a little cave where I do things and I work, and then I go back to my cave. But now I'm trying to, assimilate to your speech impediment. Something's going on. Anyway, I'm caught up on a lot of shows. I'm catching up on a lot of shows, but there's one show in particular. There's 2 shows in particular that I feel like are extremely popular. And one of them recently caught my attention and I started watching it. Game of Thrones. The other one is The Walking Dead. I have no interest in watching that ever in life. Sorry.
Okay, well, so, me either on both of those shows, but keep it real, Jay Still.
Game of Thrones. So
keep it real.
I started the series, I'm watching, I'm like, okay, this is kind of slow, but then it hits me. They start cutting people's heads off. I'm like, okay, cool. I'm there. I'm in it.
You was there for that?
I'm there for that. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm a weird one.
Okay.
I'm there for that. Then come to find out it's some kind of like weird demon creature thing or something that's killing them. I'm like, okay, I'm there for weird creature things. Cool.
Okay.
Then my baby daddy, Jason Momoa.
Is that the one who was castrated?
That is the one. No, that is the one. That is Lisa Bonet's husband.
Lenny Kravitz?
No,
Aquaman. No. He's gonna be Aquaman.
Aquaman.
Okay.
Cal Drago.
I don't know them.
Cal Drago.
So anyway, Game of Thrones definitely lives up to the hype. I'm only on the 2nd episode. I mean, any and everything you could imagine, and I watched the first episode and I was just like, oh my god, like.
That's what David did?
I just pulled up the picture.
That's what you
He is fine. He is.
He looked like Satan. Why his eyebrows look like horns?
If he looked like Satan, I guess I'm going to hell.
Yeah.
Oh!
All right.
Yes, I'm about to go.
Yes.
If there was a Satan the movie, they better call him because he
My son said Satan the movie.
Satan the movie. And
anyway, the show is great. It's got action. It's got violence. It's got supernatural elements.
It got incest.
Right. So I'm watching the episode. I'm already sold. So I'm like, okay, incest, and then they almost kill a child at the end. I'm like, whoa. So yeah, the show goes there.
You go all the way real. So you into that, the incest and
the baby killing.
It's not that I'm into it. It's
but
just
you was there
got
for it.
Everything. It's giving me all that real world realness.
Is that real world realness?
The world you live in.
So baby killing, incest, and Satan. You here for all that?
Demons was under the ground and things was killing people too, right?
Don't let them do it. We're here.
We're here. With me.
We here. When you keeping it real, Jay
I'm
Still.
keeping it real. I'm keeping it all the way
she
real.
just kept it all the way
Fully
real.
entertained.
Okay.
Yeah.
You just got a little bit more weird to me. I
I'm gonna get you on that Walking Dead.
Be real.
Ooh. I'm gonna get you on that
I
Walking
don't know
Dead
about
though.
that.
I'm gonna get you.
I don't know how to do it.
All right, well, that was keeping it real with Jay Steele, y'all. We're gonna have some more of that and learn some more about Jay Steele and her
Weird ass.
Goodness. Jeez, that was weird. So, this is another segment, another favorite segment of mine, y'all. My homie Bats. And I always have to calm him down because he be getting so angry and just so worked up.
Don't worry, this segment is incest free.
Okay, good. Good. As long as it's incest free, allegedly. This is where he gives neck to some deserving, worthy recipients. So, Bats.
Yeah, man.
Who you giving that neck to today?
All right, man. You know, there's been a trying time in our country. You feel what I'm saying, man? We got a president who's pro-Nazis and stuff, man. He about the Confederates or whatnot. He about us representing all these people that killed our ancestors and was all that. I mean, our president seriously said that it's a problem that these beautiful statues were taken down. You feel me? And I'm just looking like, dang, this is a country. And we look at Colin Kaepernick, man. He trying to represent for people. And, like, he can't even get a job as a black man. The NFL telling this black man, like, look, bro, you stood up for black people. We rather the rapists. We rather the women beaters. We rather the drug users. We rather all that, man. But if you going to stand up for black people, nah. Get out of here. You ain't got no job. And this the country, and we got a whole bunch of... Dude, did y'all know that a group of coons is called a gays?
A gay?
They're called it G-A-Z-E, like there's this gays.
A gays?
A group of raccoons is called a gays.
That was like.
I mean, that's I'm just saying. So anytime you see a bunch of coon ass people together, you got to be like they got that coon gays because there's a bunch of them together. You feel me? I found that out. Like it's called the gays. It tripped me out. So we got all these coon gays coming at all of us that have any ounce of wiseness or wokeness in us. You feel me? And I'm just like, damn, this is our country right now, dog. When all that's going on, I'm trying to, and I'm not even in the sports heavy, dog. But this time I was like, whoa, look at this YouTube video I'm about to put on. This going all around Facebook. What's this, ESPN? Oh, look at all these white people all sitting in a group. Oh, what are these white people about to do? Whoa, look at this white man in front of all these white people. This looks very oddly familiar. Whoa, what's going on? Whoa, this white man held up a picture of this black man from a sports team, and all these white people in this group are holding up their head. Wait, it's an auction. So you mean to tell me ESPN with all these white people in this group and this white man holding up these black faces, you seriously put up an auction of black people because they was doing this fantasy football commercial or whatever, and it was like, in fantasy football you get to pick your players and all that. So ESPN knowing that in the time that we in talk about tone deafness, in the time that we in with this president that's a Nazi, with all these Confederate Nazis going on, with in our own NFL, in the sport that you're auctioning these people off in, this black man can't get a job because he stood up for black people. You have the nerve to make a commercial with a bunch of white people auctioning off black sports players as if the NFL ain't already seen as a plantation already. ESPN. I'm chilling though. I'm not getting amped. I'm not going crazy. You feel me? Like the veins started popping out, but I'm just like saying, how you gonna have any kind of decency to put out some crap like this and then try to come back and apologize if you ain't know what the hell you talking about? Nah. But I'm not exploding. All I'm gonna do is calmly. Oh! Fact that I found out. I'm sorry. In 1845, did y'all know that 18-year-old slave was worth about $650? The average slave was worth about $650, which is at this point that's $14,500.
Oh my goodness.
We was causing stuff, y'all. You heard me? Like, and then so when you look at all these facts and everything that actually went down in slave auctions, just the auction itself. Let's not even get into slavery. We should know that stuff. But just in the auction itself, you standing up there and got the nerve to have when you already being likened to a slave plantation because you don't want to give a black man a job, but standing up to black people, you gonna put some nonsense like this. ESPN, you get a neck. NFL, you get a neck. And just because Jermichael Finley was the latest little mofo Nene Hammer who want to stand up here and talk trash about Marshawn Lynch and Michael Bennett for sitting down with Cap, you get a neck too. And thank God for your biracial wife who said, look here, your son's black, Jermichael. Look here, ESPN. Look here, NFL. Our kids is black. Stop with that bull crap. We watching, they watching. Neck.
All right.
I almost cursed.
You're gonna have an aneurysm, son.
I'm good.
At least there wasn't no incest in that one, huh?
I almost had a what?
You probably
almost had a what?
An aneurysm.
What?
An aneurysm.
An aneurysm?
Man,
I can't hold on. I need a minute.
I'm talking for a living, and I ain't gonna be able to continue my career, Lord. Trying to have a good smile. Anyway, that was that.
I need a minute.
We always let Martin turn it up with that neck, and then we like to turn it down with a Sankofa session. That's why our 2 Sankofa birds, Brother Malik, Bartholomew of No Nola Tours, and Oshun the Unicorn.
Hi.
They reflect on an older time, person, place, just something that helps shape who we are at the moment as Black millennials. So, who we got this week, Joe?
Today, we're going to talk about baseball's forgotten man, New Orleans' own Johnny Wright.
All right.
He didn't flip the baby cakes, huh?
No. No.
So Johnny Wright was born in New Orleans November 28, 1916, and he was a Negro League pitcher.
He was, he went to the greatest high school in the world, McDowell No. 35 Senior High School. He was signed. Yeah, he was signed to the team called the Zulus. They were a local professional team which provided entertainment like the Harlem Globetrotters back then. That's who they were comparable to.
Now, for a lot of people who do not know, the game of baseball, the famous American pastime, was segregated, and black people were not allowed to play baseball. You couldn't be in the major leagues. You couldn't play with minor leagues. You couldn't play with a high school team. So black people developed their own team called the Negro Leagues, and what a lot of people know that New Orleans was a hotbed. We had like 12, 13 teams. We had our own conference. We had our own field. So New Orleans was a very high hub for the Negro Leagues in the country.
And on October 23rd, 1945, President and General Manager of the Brooklyn Dodgers, Branch Rickey, made the announcement of Jackie Robinson's signing. And on January 29th, 1946, he announced the signing of Mr. Wright, making him the second official recognized African-American to sign a contract with a Major League Baseball team, and he was the first African-American pitcher. So Jackie Robinson did all the hitting, but he was the pitcher.
Now, Jackie Robinson did mention Mr. Wright in his biography. He stated that he thought that Mr. Wright was an excellent pitcher, probably better than most of the pitchers in the National League. However, he felt like he didn't have the temperament, as we know that Jackie Robinson was. Things were thrown at him. He was cussed. He was spit on. And he was like, you know, he was from New Orleans. So Mr. Wright was like, nah, homie. Like, Mr. Wright was trying to come for him. Like, he was like, he felt played, you know. So he didn't have the temperament to be successful in the major league.
That's real.
Right. He actually quit baseball after a very long trying time because he, like Malik said, he really couldn't handle it. It wasn't for him, especially when you go through things and you see things like that happening. But Mr. Wright, he went on to pass away in Jackson, Mississippi on March 17, 1990 at the age of 72. He doesn't get recognized as much as Jackie Robinson, so that's why I wanted to give this, you know, shine a light on him today.
All right. This week is going to say his name one more time. Say his name.
His full name is Mr. John Richard Johnny is what they call him, Wright.
Okay.
Johnny Wright. That's Johnny Wright.
Mr. John.
Johnny Wright.
This has been a good episode of the Misbelief Radio.
Very hilarious.
Good fun. I got through it with these things in my mouth, so we just gonna.
He got through it with these things
in
his mouth.
What?
Remember that?
They're in your mouth?
Yeah, I ran the whole episode.
Okay.
You thought I was taking the list?
No.
Anyway, y'all, I'm DC Paul Millennial Centennial. Follow me at SlimHotep, SLIMMHOTEP on Instagram, and DC Paul on Facebook. My Facebook page is wide open.
No, we know. Hi, everybody. My name is Oshun. You can follow me at OSHUNSL11. That's Oshun SL11 on Instagram. My page is now wide open.
Yo, this is Malik. I know it all. Never gonna fall. You can follow me at No Nola Tours on Instagram and on Facebook.
That actor guy, Martin Batts Bradford. You can find me on all your social media platforms at Mr. Batts. Spell it, Mr. Out, and you ain't gonna find me. And I'm representing the Fly with Batts podcast. Subscribe to us just like you should subscribe to the Misbelief Radio Show podcast. You feel me? Wherever you get that from.
This is Jay Steele, keeping it real. You can follow me on Instagram at Jessel Steele. It's 2 S's and 1 O. And on Facebook at Jessica Elizabeth Johnson.
This is a government name.
Government.
Mastermind.
And once again, it's your boy Mastermind, Master DJ, and you can follow me on Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook, everything as FrenchBread_Kid.
And if you want to follow some more cool ass millennials, my homegirl Kaylee Celeste, she's in the building. Kaylee, what's your Kalena? Kaylee, it's Kaylee Celeste. It is Kaylee Celeste on Facebook and on Instagram. What it is, Kalena, so they can follow you. Yeah, man, she's cool as hell, man. And we're playing her music a whole lot more. And Brian Eagland. My homie, you can follow him on Facebook and Instagram. Where at?
Yes, Instagram is Brian Art World, and my name is Brian Eagland on Facebook, and that's not England or English. It's E-G-L-A-N-D. All right.
Oh yeah, Mr. Steal Your Titty. As Brian, Mr. Steal Your Titty with that voice.
Subscribe to us on YouTube, on iTunes, TheMisBelief.podbean.com. And you know what? Just tune in next week. We're going to do the same thing at the same time in the same place. So don't get nothing on you.
Bye.
All right, so you got 30 seconds.
What?
Other videos by the end. You got 30 seconds or less.
Ouch.
What?
You have 30 seconds or less.
Your thing got the timer on
A
it.
timer on what?
On your live.
Come on, y'all.
You got
All right, y'all. Well, thanks for tuning in to Misbelief Radio Show. We got to do a quick one because now they're doing timers on live videos. Okay, so thanks for tuning in. We'll see y'all next week. And shout out to my cameraman, my homie Joseph.
All right, yeah. Come on, Joseph.
We love y'all. Tuning in, watching, listening. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.